Greetings, everyone. My name is Anita Stewart McCafferty, faculty member at University of Southern Maine in Educational Leadership. I would like to welcome you to EDU 671, Organizational Behavior. During this course, we are going to become very familiar with the following objectives. 1, explain how to collaboratively develop and implement a shared mission and vision. Number 2, apply knowledge of behavioral science and concepts useful in organization. Number 3, explain how to collect and use data to identify goals, to assess organizational effectiveness, make decisions, communicate effectively, and promote organizational learning. The 4th objective is to analyze methods and techniques that are helpful in developing effectiveness in individuals, teams, and organizations. The 5th course objective is to explain how to nurture and sustain a culture of collaboration, trust, learning, and high expectations. The 6th course objective is to describe how leaders can demonstrate an appreciation of diversity, its dynamics, and its impact on individual, team, and organizational effectiveness. The 7th course objective is to explain various theories of change, decision-making, communication, and conflict resolution, and the appropriate application of those models to specific organizations. And finally, the 8th course objective is to demonstrate the ability to optimize the learning environment for all students by applying appropriate models and principles of organizational development and management, which include research and data-driven decision-making with attention to indicators of equity, effectiveness, and efficiency. So that's a lot in 7 weeks. Our course is divided into weekly modules, so 7 modules, and you'll be able to access those modules to the left of your toolbar under the tab Course Modules. So I'm just going to talk to you for a brief moment about how those course modules are laid out for you, the organization of it, as well as some of the major readings and assignments that you will encounter and hopefully be able to learn from during this course. So the course includes, before we look at the 7 modules, the course includes a common read, and that common read is Decisive by Chip and Dan Heath. And so that's a book that we'll all read together, and several of our discussion prompts throughout the modules will focus on that common reading and your application to your own organization. So to your school, to your district, to where you see yourself going in the future as an educational leader. You will also choose a second book to read during this course from a book list that will be provided for you. And so I encourage you as soon as possible to choose that book, to access that book, and then be able to begin reading as well. We do have a final paper that will take you through a process of really thinking about how you apply the different concepts and tools and techniques from the course to a particular school setting where you will imagine that you're coming in as the new leader and thinking about how you will apply these organizational tools and concepts to that particular setting. So this time, let's take a look at what the 7 course modules are and the guiding questions that will be connected with each of those. So module 1 starts us out with looking at your own experiences with organizations and thinking about organizations as metaphors. During module 1, we'll focus on the following guiding questions to help us as we process the readings and the videos and the discussions and the assignments. How are organizations structured? How do we talk and think about organizations? So with regards to that, how do metaphors influence our thinking about organizations and the organizations themselves? What have our experiences been with organizations, and how do those experiences influence our thinking and behaviors about organizations? And what are the dynamics that influence how we feel about organizations? In Module 2, we'll focus on organizational culture and climate, and our guiding questions for Module 2 will be as follows. What are the indicators of organizational health? What is organizational culture? How are culture and climate similar and distinct? How is organizational climate and culture shaped? What are the indicators of positive school or district culture and climate? How can we shape organizational climate and culture to be more equitable, inclusive, diverse, etc.? How do we create shared purpose within our organizations? And how are trusting climates established that promote positive risk-taking and an innovator's mindset when approaching challenges? Module 3 focuses on leadership theories and approaches, and our guiding questions for Module 3 are as follows. How do leaders impact organization, culture, and climate? What leadership theories and approaches are alive and well in your organizations? Which theories or approaches undergird your current view on effective school leadership? What is your educational leadership philosophy? And what defines you? What are you all about? What drives and motivates you and provides purpose for you? Module 4 focuses on communication competence, and our guiding questions for Module 4 are as follows. What is communication competence as it relates to organizations? How does communication competence propel or derail the vision and goals of an organization? What are your communication strengths and your areas in need of improvement? What communication areas does your organization excel at, and which are areas in need of improvement? And finally, what are the results of effective organizational communication? Module 5 focuses on decision-making, problem-solving, and motivation. Our guiding questions for Module 5 are as follows. How are decisions made? Who has power and authority? How is input sought, used, and valued? Who is left out of decision-making process and in your teams, schools, and organizations? What are key decision-making skills and competencies that one should develop or hone as educational leaders? And finally, how do or should leaders and organizations motivate those within their organizations? Module 6 focuses on interpersonal communication, team and group dynamics, and organizational effectiveness. Our guiding questions for Module 6 are as follows. How can leaders and organizations improve the effectiveness of groups to help the organization achieve its goals? How can a leader or organization harness the power of teams and individuals? And finally, what are the indicators of and the processes in place of healthy teams and groups within an organization? We'll finish our course with Module 7, which focuses on leading change and managing conflict. Our guiding questions for this final module are as follows. How do we effectively lead change within our organizations? Which aspects of leading change are the stumbling blocks for your organization, for you personally? And then how might these stumbling blocks be overcome? How are conflicts viewed and managed in your organization? And finally, what are your skills around conflict management? So that's a brief overview of the 7 modules that we're going to engage in and learn from during the course of EDU 671 this semester. I trust that you are ready to go, ready to learn, ready to apply what we think about and read about and discuss together to your current situation, as well as your future educational leadership journey. Thanks, and enjoy the course.